I also wanted to introduce you to our newest team member here in WTAJ, Darby Sparks. You're going to be joining us out of the Altoona offices covering Blair County, doing a lot of digital reporting. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where do you come from and what are you excited about?
Well, I'm really excited to be here. I just moved here from Miami, and I'll be covering mainly digital content. You can find it exclusively online on social media. And I have a lot of interest in history and human interest, and so I'll be covering a lot of things around the community, such as community events, the greatest food in the community and shops, and local people who contribute to the community, like musicians and philanthropists and stuff like that. And
so you're really hoping people would reach out to you and tell you about the great things they're doing in the community?
I would love that, absolutely.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Darby. I'm here with Heather at Allegheny's Creamery and Crepes, and we are here to make Eggs Benedict for National Eggs Benedict Day.
I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News.
Hi, I'm Darby Sparks, and this year I'm feeling really crafty for Easter. So that I could convince my coworker Emma to decorate an egg for me, and I could show her how to do it. Go ahead and pick one.
I think I'll do this one.
The hard egg.
Well, the weather outside is still a bit frightful, but here in Altoona, inside the clay cup, it's much more delightful. Hi guys, well with the weather getting warmer, it's a great time to get outside and enjoy the sun. Hey, I'm Darby Sparks at the Jaffa Shrine, where a huge transformation has been made for an event this weekend. Well, you can find basic stickers at the store, but have you ever thought about getting your own customizable stickers? I'm standing in front of a bear trap set at Trussey Mountain High School, where a bear was reportedly spotted during school hours. Feel the need to lend a helping hand? Buy a bag from Martin's to help raise money for the Salvation Army.
What advice are experts sharing to keep people safe in these types of situations?
Hi guys, well, in the midst of the severe weather we've experienced, I talked to the Blair County Director of Public Safety about precautionary measures to take in case of an emergency. In Duncansville, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News.
You know when it's time to replace the wipers?
Well, when's the last time that you replaced your windshield wipers? If you haven't replaced them in a long time, it might be time to. Here are some other tips on how to maintain your wipers. And make sure to keep your wipers up to date. In Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Well, everyone has heard of the term multiple sclerosis, but symptoms of the disease vary so much that it often takes years to diagnose. Tonight should be really fun for people going to the show. LIVEWIRE is an AC/DC tribute band that's, in their own words, the closest you're going to get to the real thing. In Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News.
Store you can find on our website. Darby?
Do you know what's in your food? If you don't, then you could easily be fooled. CentralPA.com and click under the WTAJ Plus tab to find out more. In Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Officials are asking that you please stop illegally dumping in Laurel Hill State Park. It's been a common practice for years, and it's something that the park just can't afford. The football field, which used to be used by Phillipsburg Osceola Senior High School, was vandalized last week around June 5th or 6th. John, Amanda, Altoona High School's graduation ceremony is usually held at Mansion Park, but weather forced the administration to move the venue indoors to the Altoona Area High School's field house instead. Part of the solution could include an alternative venue for graduation ceremonies. Reporting in Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News.
Darby?
John, Amanda, I spoke with the owner today, who says he's keeping positive after receiving a sign. I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. David Christie was arrested Monday for sexual misconduct of a minor under age 13, but that's not his first time. Well, it's National Martini Day, and I'm at Al's Tavern, where the owner's going to show me how to make a dirty martini, a local favorite. Amanda, Sheets has been working on revamping its menu for a while now, and today the company finally released the finished interface of one of its stores in Duncansville. If it's successful, the menu will proceed to a few more testing locations around Central PA before it rolls out everywhere. Find out how your favorite menu item is changing by heading to WTAJplus.com. I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Altoona City Council will soon decide whether or not "In God We Trust" decals can be put on city vehicles. And once she got through his bedroom door, she allegedly struck his left ear with the hammer. A man is riding his bike all the way from Germany to the United States. How will he do it? I spoke to him and found out. John, the Hope Drop-In Center is a safe space where people dealing with mental illness and addiction can go to relax, recover, and learn skills without worrying about stigma. I spoke with some of the racers today about why they attended and what they learned. The 3 teams that got the most places correct in the least amount of time won a trophy. You can find out more by going to WTAJplus.com. In studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News.
Darby?
John, police say that Tracy McClellan was convinced someone was going to torture her husband, son, and daughter to death. She believed that by killing them, she was protecting them. Take a look. Chuck, the McClellan family is receiving support from their community after officials say Tracy McClellan became unstable and violently attacked her family, including her 9-year-old son. The son plays baseball at Logan Field, and now the group is organizing a tournament to benefit the family. To find out details of this event, you can visit our website, WTAJplus.com. In studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Train derailment just occurred at Horseshoe Curve. Onlookers said that they saw the train smoke up when the wheels came off the tracks. The train is still derailed, but it's not stopping other trains from passing. In Logan Township, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News.
Hi, I'm Darby Sparks, and I'm with WTAJ, and this is Michael Wells, and she's a Visitor Services Associate with Sama Bedford Art Museum, and she's going to give me a tour around. First of all, what painting are we standing in front of right now? Well, sweet. All right, let's take a look around.
According to the representing attorney, Father Reforgiato served as a Jesuit priest, religion and history teacher in New York before admitting to his sex crimes against children. Serbin says an associate was assigned to supervise Reforgiato at State College, but failed to keep him from committing criminal sex acts. The Catholic Diocese has no comment on the allegations. More coming up at 6. John and Amanda, the suspect spent a full 15 minutes attempting to break into the VFW, trying multiple different tactics before the alarm finally went off. Police don't know yet why the man was selected the VFW as a target. More details about the suspect and his break-in attempt are on WTAJplus.com. In studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. John, Amanda, when I arrived, there was still blood on the driveway where one of April Lockett's dogs was shot dead. The second dog was so badly wounded that it had to be put down. Despite her grief, April says the dogs did their job by protecting her and her 4 children. Find out more about what she had to say by going to WTAJplus.com. In studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Yesterday, police were looking to question the man who allegedly asked a 12-year-old girl to get in his car with him at Walmart before her mother scared him off. Police will not release the suspect's name because no arrest will be made from the incident. In Bedford, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Happy New Year's Eve, and thanks for joining us. I'm Darby Sparks, and speaking of New Year's Eve, lots of people will be out tonight celebrating the end of the decade. And police tell us they want people to have a good time. And they live with more. Sean.
That's right, Darby.
Thanks, Sean. Now for a look at tonight's weather. We have meteorologist Mike Doyle with us. And Mike, what should people know as they head out tonight?
We still got some snow coming down for.
Thanks, Mike. Well, if you're looking for last-minute New Year's Eve plans, State College has you covered. The first night celebration is going on right now. What can you tell us about first night? That looks a lot of fun, Amanda. Now your weather authority with meteorologist Mike Doyle.
By Sunday, a bit colder.
Well, thanks for watching, and you can stay up to date by checking out our Facebook page or heading to wearecentralpa.com. And thank you. John, Amanda, do you remember what happened on January 14th, 1995? How about January 19th, 2000? At WTAJ, we believe that every story is timeless and has meaning. And in our new segment, This Week in History, I'll take a look at what news reports made each day important throughout the years. In studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. I'm Darby Sparks, and today we're taking a look at events that happened during this week's dates. Events that help build the foundation of our communities and rock them to their core. It takes 24 years, but it's finally listed on the National Register of Historic Places in October of 2019. The Blair County Convention Center project is finished in May of 2001. The Kuchera brothers were found guilty in 2013 on charges of fraud and conspiracy. To summarize, they stole hundreds of thousands of dollars based on the false promise that they deliver on a product meant to protect our soldiers during combat. He was the most successful football coach in both Nittany Lion history as well as on NCAA record. Eichenlaub allegedly beat Eshelman after Eshelman attempted to pull him off a man who had groped his wife. Parks Miller had her law license revoked for a year and a day after it was found she was using technology to gain the upper hand in her attempts to wipe crime off the streets of Center County. Narcan is distributed to 40 police departments in the county in an attempt to battle the rising number of deaths. That's all for This Week in History. See you Monday. Justice is a dish that's best served cold. But what happens when a crime goes unsolved or a bitter dispute remains unresolved? One of the victims of this alleged serial killer is 19-year-old LaMonica Cole, whose body was found near Gateway Truck Stop in Breezewood in 1987. The killer has yet to be identified. It's one of two bones AIR had to pick with the agency. They were also against the EPA incinerating contaminated soil in the area left behind by an old chemical factory. City officials at the time said that 2/3 of the borough had unpaid bills, totaling $16,000. Needless to say, the plan worked. County commissioners say they had expected a much worse penalty for the home and are pleasantly surprised by the fine. Workers hit the picket line in the first place over health care benefits, or lack thereof. High nitrate levels mainly affect infants and pregnant women, but it's better to be safe than sorry. County officials ended up using a backup system until the levels went back down. The study was based on hidden cameras that were placed in parking lots. Its findings conflict with a similar study conducted in the U.S. That's it for this week's Week in History. Tune in on the 3rd for next week's review. Today in history, it's the end of the road for a spree killer on the run, and just the beginning of a Nittany Lion's journey behind bars. Today in history, a reflection of the saying, safety first, because day after day and year after year, it's the one thought that doesn't leave the back of our minds. Today in history, there's two sides to every story, but which one is right? For these next two stories, the verdict's been out for a while, but that doesn't stop some people from questioning it. Tune in for tomorrow's review. Today in history, former President Bill Clinton is in the middle of his impeachment trial, and Darth Vader uses the Force for good. Tune in for tomorrow's review. Today in history, a government agency goes under the microscope for wasting money on toys. And police tell the public that a cold case has no chance of heating up without their help. Tune in Monday. We'll ponder no longer because I found out for you, and just in time for recruitment. Good thing you don't need experience to apply. John, Amanda, school bus safety is an ongoing issue in local communities, and if drivers fail to stop when the bus has its light flashing and the stop sign out, it puts the lives of children at risk. An accident like this almost happened yesterday. School buses also have cameras and will prosecute. In studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Thanks, Devin. Well, COVID-19 continues to impact Blair and the surrounding counties this week as the community reacts to the pandemic. Out of all the places affected, the Central PA Humane Society may have been hit the hardest, and now the workers at the shelter are struggling to pick up the pieces while trying to find the funds to do so. While the Humane Society does have insurance to cover most of the damages, they'll need extra help. With the fundraisers being canceled due to COVID-19, they need extra help from the community. We've posted a link on wearecentralpa.com if you're interested. In Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Amanda, a call came in at around 11:30 this morning stating that two people were found dead in a home on the 2600 block of Beale Avenue in Altoona. I arrived about an hour later, and here's what happened next. A large commotion as an alleged family member of one of the victims was detained after. According to police, both victims were shot between 1 and 3 a.m. If you have any more information or live nearby and have security camera footage, please contact the Altoona Police Department. In Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Hello and welcome back to In Case You Missed It, WTAJ's weekly segment that covers top stories coming out of our area. This week coming out of Blair County, a couple crimes and one milestone. Now we'll send things over to Devin Jackson, who has a few stories coming out of Center County. Now we're going to send things over to Sean, who has the latest in Cambria County. That's all for this week's In Case You Missed It. Check back in next week for more top stories coming out of Central Pennsylvania. Hello and welcome back to In Case You Missed It, WTAJ's weekly segment that covers top stories in our area. I'm Darby Sparks, and this week, a home invasion that led to one death, a man that drove his car through a store, and a man that's been missing for almost a month. Now we'll send things over to our Devin Jackson, who has some stories you may have missed in Center County. And now we're going to send things over to our Sean Rapp, who has some things coming out of Cambria County from this week. Well, thank you for watching this week's In Case You Missed It. Tune in next week to catch up with top stories coming out of Central Pennsylvania. The new mandate set up by Governor Wolf has local bars and restaurants struggling to keep up while trying to break even. Pennsylvania state liquor control officers face a tough job as well, between enforcing the rules and having empathy for struggling businesses. They say that right now they're focusing on education rather than giving repercussions. The new order is putting both the Liquor Control Board and local businesses in a tough spot, one that many say they're struggling to survive. However, no citations have been issued yet to local businesses that are not in compliance in order to give them some more time to adjust. In Hollidaysburg, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Amanda, the Paycheck Protection Program, designed to provide an incentive to keep businesses going, was a huge part of the Coronavirus Economic Relief Act. But now a bill for additional help has been introduced in Congress. Studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Hello and welcome back to In Case You Missed It, WTAJ's weekly segment that covers top stories in our area. I'm Darby Sparks, and this week coming out of Blair and Center counties, a serial rapist is put away. Local restaurants ask for more aid and changes are made to state IDs. Well, lots happening this week in Cambria County, including a world-renowned amateur golf tournament right in Johnstown. Sean Rapp has more. Thanks, Sean. Well, that's all for In Case You Missed It. Check back in next week for top stories coming out of our area. Amanda, Chris Kerr and his friend were getting gas at the Sheets next to UPMC when Chris noticed a dog in the parking lot. As he got closer, he says the dog was clearly neglected and in distress, so Chris took it upon himself to help out. The Humane Society says the dog is doing well and in good shape, but they would like to remind the community to leave a message with any critical information if they're dropping off an animal after hours. In Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News.
Darby?
Jordan, this summer the hashtags Save the Children and Save Our Children have especially grabbed attention in the U.S. As the alarm continues to rise over child trafficking in our country, they have been tweeted and shared hundreds and thousands of times over the last couple of weeks, but child advocacy groups here in Altoona, which was named a hotspot for this crime back in January, are hoping this campaign will bring awareness to the problem on a more local level. Jordan, statistics show women and children starting at the age of 11 make up 86% of human trafficking victims. Some red flags for folks to watch out for include significant changes to the victim's profile on social media, and even a difficulty focusing and staying awake during the day. Anyone interested in joining the local task force can find a link on our website, wearecentralpa.com. In Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Standing in front of Brenda Plant's home in Altoona, the former Army training aide hired an independent contractor to tear out some walls, build new cabinets, and replace the flooring. Instead, he tore off those cabinets, tore out the walls, and even took the kitchen sink before running off. WTAJ reached out to the contractor's lawyer and received no reply. If you would like to help out by giving your time or tools, we've listed the contact information on our website. In Altoona, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Darby. Amanda, the Bedford County Players, along with the Chamber of Commerce and the Bedford Fairgrounds, will work together to put on a socially distanced version of the musical Godspell. In studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. That's right, Matt. As I was shooting video of Puzzletown Road, the area the car was last seen by police, the suspect drove right past me, and I immediately called 911. Now, it's unclear why Cantos was on the run at this time, but we are in contact with the Blair Township Police Department, who's handling this investigation, and will continue to update you more as this information becomes available. In the studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Matt, 3 Duncansville homeowners discovered they were victims of theft over the weekend when they woke up to a barren lawn. I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Stores like Dollar General, Wine and Spirit, and Ollie's, the Clearfield Mall is a staple in the community, but planners want to make it a one-stop shop by adding in a medical center and a gym, as well as giving it new upgrades. A representative for Penmark Marketing says that including a medical center will take some time and dates will be announced next year. In Clearfield, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. Matt and Amanda, doctors, police, and addiction counselors sat down with local politicians today to explain the substantial increase they've seen in relapses and overdoses in Somerset County during this pandemic. The high drug trafficking and addiction rate was such a cause for concern that it gained an ear from the top. The meeting ended with the promise that the White House will have its eye on Somerset and become more directly involved with the local addiction crisis. In studio, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News. This year, each of the 7 schools have chosen 3 players to compete for your vote or donation for the 2020 football season title of Mr. Gridiron. You can find the donation boxes at a number of area businesses around Clearfield. The fundraiser lasts till the end of the month, and Mr. Gridiron will be announced on November 8th. To find a list of the players, you can go to our website, wearecentralpa.com. In Du Bois, I'm Darby Sparks, WTAJ News.